Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and today we do not have something that is very miniature. We have the Akai Oniwaka Kiyomori. Okay, I'm just reading down the side here. But this is an absolutely massive box. I have this thing as far zoomed back as I possibly can. And so this is actually the limited edition first run version of this. I don't know if subsequent runs are going to be different. They said they were, but who knows. Let's talk about what makes this the limited edition run. I can't even... Oh my god. It's just that big. The camera is falling off of the table at this point. There is no space left on my table. So, you can see here, we've got a big box. Bonus flame platform is included in the initial purchase and red ghost head funnel. So this is not actually going to be with the final versions, I guess? So the little flame guys remind me of one of the bosses from one of the old Super Robot Wars, and then all the flame patterns on the base are not actually going to be there, I guessed. I don't even know. Opening shoulder armor, because it says that. The head in the chest has a cannon inside. I've seen people pose the blades in there, like Zorro style. He's got all these extra equipment options that can swap on there. I believe there are also special parts on the side here that he's got. And then we have a full-bodied skeletal frame, which I don't think is die-cast. But at this point, I don't really care. It's just a nice looking model and absolutely gigantic. I mean, this thing is really, really big. When I got it, the outside box, because I ordered it from Show Z, was already smashed up with multiple puncture marks, and yet this all came in one piece. So I am impressed. You can't even see inside it. It's that deep. The flame parts. I mean, I don't even know what we're grabbing here. Translucent stuff. Red stuff. I don't see any pre-painted parts, though. I'm just grabbing frames. They keep coming. My god. I'm buried under them. We're still not to the bottom. Now this is kind of cool. The base is actually textured. You don't see that often with these types of models. And you can see my mess of the table there. And I'm just hurling frames all over the floor. God, I gotta clean that up. That was an absolute ton of stuff. Okay, so here is the body. I am not feeling any die cast, but what I do feel are nice, solid pieces of plastic. I am also hoping that since said internal frame does not have to be built, that should hopefully speed up the process of building this model. You know, I'm looking, I mean, all of the joints are quite nice. They are screwed in. I don't know if you can see the screws there, but they're there. And right off the bat, you can see that things are looking pretty tall. How tall are they, High Lord Tamberling? Well, the Gundam, 1/144th Gundam, barely reaches the thigh. So, big. He's very leggy, though. If you like your leggy models, this is one you'll enjoy. Alright, let's take a look at the instruction manuals. Oh boy, more decals, because I have not had enough fun with those. I'm like, it doesn't look that bad. Hopefully they fit. I have not had a lot of good luck lately with decals, so... Curious what the QR code is going to bring up. Okay, so you can see we have a breakdown of all of the parts here, and we have an explanation for all of the symbols. So there is no excuse. You can do this. It's not all in Japanese or anything. Parts, oh, I like when we do this. We have the frames or the plates or the sprues or whatever you want to call them all labeled for each section. But then they take it to the next step and they actually give you the colors as well, which is a major time saver when you've got these big massive models. Thumbs up to the company who put this out, whose name I cannot remember. I want to say this is their first official kit. I think they did garage stuff prior to this. And, well, I appreciate when we've got those steps already shown to us. So really all we're doing is building the armor around it, but even that looks to be quite a involved process. I mean, I'm already at page 24 and we're just now getting to the equipment. Huh, there's guns. There's a comma and a dagger. See, check it out. There's guns for them. I didn't even know that. There's just all kinds of stuff. There's literally just tons of stuff. Variations on how you can build the scythe or the spear or whatever you want to have it with. That whole backpack array with all of the weaponry attached to it. Big blade on the waist. Everything else on his back. And then we have the base stuff as well. So this looks like it's going to be a bit of a busy one. Unfortunately, the floaty head unit bits are completely unbuilt. I got to do those myself. And there you can see the final piece. Pretty clear pictures, and then a layout of all of the decals. Whether I get to the decals before this video is finished is anybody's guess. I probably will get to them eventually. If you don't see them at the end, well, oh well. But give me a sec. We will put it together, and we'll see how things turn out. Sit tight. Oh boy. Well, I think this has got to be a record for me for how long it takes me to start and then finish a project. It has been months. Months, I kid you not, since I started this video, and obviously you're watching it in the span of minutes, but in that same amount of time that it took me to build the red ogre here, the company actually went ahead and put out their next kit already, which is right in front of me. It's a giant Tengu, and it is absolutely massive. And I don't even know when I'm going to get to it. It's so freaking huge. Oh my god, that's heavy. And I twisted one of my muscles in my arm, and it really hurts trying to flip this thing over. As you can see, it has like this crazy beam sword blade thing here and a whole bunch of accessories, which actually, I can see now, stylistically, because everything's all lopsided, it shares a lot with our friend here. And man, is there a lot going on with this. Where do I start? How about with that serving platter of a base? I still got to say this thing is absolutely awesome, and the fact that it has these crazy, you know, flying Oni heads that really serve no purpose whatsoever other than to exist on the base. Really kind of neat. Obviously going with the ogre theme. The big purple translucent flames, very cool. As you can see, he is pretty sturdy with that stand for the most part. But there's some issues that I've got with this guy. And mainly, if I unattach him from the stand, you're going to see what I mean. Let's give it a try. Where do I even... see, it's been so long. Okay. I don't even remember how. So there is the whole stand, which probably would make a great display piece for just about anything in the world. Moving on to our red Oni here. Ogre, whatever they want to call him. Okay, so the reason it didn't ever get filmed for months on end is this hand right here. Somehow or other, I dropped this armor piece, and that's a major problem with this guy, is he's got all kinds of goofy pieces that have really bizarre connection points. Case in point right here is the way his sword is supposed to just kind of clip onto the side there. There's also really weird things going on with just these strange armor panels in really inopportune spots. So not only do you see this can kind of, you know, pose up and down, and there's a bit of flexibility in terms of where it goes. It can actually slide down a little bit lower, but everything gets really hampered by these shoulder pads of his. And the shoulder pads themselves are actually really kind of cool with all of the various colors and stuff that they have opening up, if I can actually show you. But it's attached to the joint in the shoulder, and you really, the whole thing is going to have to move. So no matter what, and there goes the other one, see, they're really kind of obnoxious. Yeah, you can remove them, but I mean, it looks kind of empty without it. I do like the big face in the torso, and outside of that, I mean, everything actually is really nice in terms of posability and whatnot. That backpack is the other big issue, is it's just so heavy with everything attached to it. Now, again, with the whole pre-order, quote-unquote, whatever they want to call it, bonus of all the extra weapons, you know, that does kind of hinder it a bit. Him finding his center of gravity is also a bit of a challenge. That crazy long ponytail really kind of gets in the way and kind of keeps the head off kilter as well. It's hard to get the head to kind of maintain its composure. Of course, as soon as that goes, you clamp up the back there. Oh yeah, no issues. I thought it would have been cool to have something stored in the joints or in the legs somewhere, but no, that's not really the case. And I mean, overall, it's not a bad kit. I mean, it's got some issues here and there, and it should have been stuff that I feel like could have been caught earlier on. As I said, the backpack itself isn't too bad. It just gets kind of bogged down by all the stuff. I don't even have all the stuff equipped on it right now. There should be smaller blades somewhere, and I don't know where they are. The weight. So he's got this ridiculous spear here. And the gun, which I forgot about. And this spear, if I can figure out how to remove it, which I can't. There we go. Has all kinds of modular pieces for how you want to put the blade together. For example, if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say there were like one or two more parts, and you can turn it into a big old scythe, which again was supposed to be like a pre-order type bonus thing. Blade itself is actually really quite cool, and it's got the cool little dangly bit hanging off of there. But again, because of the weight of everything, these joints are just not going to support it really well. I mean, let's be honest, they're going to give out unless you do something on your end. I feel like these are supposed to open up and do something. Maybe they were just thrusters. I don't even remember. I'll have to dig out the instructions. Hopefully, I will be quicker on the ball about getting that Tengu put together. But I feel like for the price these guys were asking for originally for both of them, which was quite exorbitant, I thought, close to 100 US, it just wasn't there. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay that much. If I did, I'd be kind of sore. Not to say, again, that it's a bad kit. It's just, I feel like when things like that happen and things start popping off, I mean, not to say that, like, Bandai is some paragon of, you know, perfectly built kits. It just leaves me a little... I don't even know what's falling off. It looks like parts of the hands. Yeah, the hands are really cheesy on how they attach as well. They're just plugged in there, and it's like one of those things where I feel like if there's too much tension, it's going to fall apart. So I don't want to destroy it, obviously, just yet. Maybe in a little while, that might be a different story, but like, it just amuses me whenever you see like all those meticulously posed, nicely shot photos of models. They don't always work that way, and if they do, then please tell me what I'm doing wrong. Also, tons, and I mean tons of undercuts on this thing, but that's almost to be expected with this type of kit. I had a massive pile of just multicolored little pieces waiting to be tossed. And there goes another piece from somewhere. I need to zoom it out too. So if you're curious how big this thing is with everything, all things considered, here is the SNAA Blade King, who I was hoping to get all of his decals started. And he's at a 1/100th scale, and you can see our red ogre here just a little bit taller, quite a bit bulkier and wider, whereas, please don't fall over, our entry grade 1/144th barely comes to the crotch cannon of this guy. So, you know, size-wise, parts-wise, and construction-wise, everything is nice. No real complaints there. The only real issue is I think there's a lot of little fiddly junk this that absolutely could benefit from getting glued on. I haven't done any of that myself yet. And just figuring out what to do with these big shoulder binders, because they stick out, they're in the way, you can't really pose it all too well with them. That's my only real frustration. They really hamper movement in a serious way. So I'm hoping that with that Tengu, we've got things figured out a little bit better, because overall it's not a bad kit. Color-wise, parts-wise, construction-wise, like I said, it just, some of the things kind of get in the way of themselves. So with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!